The nut-spitting, forest-dwelling race of the Deku Scrubs in Ocarina of Time are not just a simple race of mischievous creatures. Rather, there is clear evidence that points to the existence of secret, evil cults within Deku Scrub society. Cults that worship a certain evil forest spirit from beyond, one that we know all too well. What's the evidence for all this? 2 words: Skull Mask. To give us a clearer picture of how the Deku Scrubs operate, let's go back to the start of the game, when Link is inside the Deku Tree. The Deku Scrubs therein do their best to thwart Link's advances. One of them tries to stop Link from getting to the fairy slingshot, while 3 others block the way to Goma's lair. As creatures of the forest, the Deku Scrubs should be in subservience to the Deku Tree, as he is their protector and giver of life. However, these Deku Scrubs do not serve the Deku Tree. They serve Goma, who they refer to as their queen. A queen that acts as a death curse upon the great Deku Tree. Undoubtedly, this would be considered a blasphemous act by those in the forest to revere such a monster. After stunning these 3 Deku Scrubs in the proper order, which is tantamount to a secret handshake a cult might use, they recognize that they are outmatched and allow Link entry. So, it is established that the Deku Scrubs have worshipped evil entities before, as seen with the cult of Goma. Furthermore, the Deku Scrubs have been known to physically guard and protect the entrances to those whom they serve, and this will come into play later. However, as we're about to find out, this is not the only cult within Deku society. There is yet another that worships an entity far worse than Goma, a ghost of the forest, an evil spirit from beyond. There's a very obscure item obtained in a side quest that proves to be the smoking gun for this theory: the Skull Mask. This mask is part of the mask trading sequence, in which the Happy Mask salesman has Link travel Hyrule to sell various masks to those who want them. The other masks in this side quest are all certainly strange in their own right, such as the Spooky Mask, which was carved out of a plank from a coffin, and the Mask of Truth, which is apparently of Sheik make. But the Skull Mask is probably the most mysterious of them all. All Link is told about it is that it's a horned skull mask. Wow, thank goodness someone cleared that up. There's no backstory given, no nothing. However, when Link wears this mask and interacts with other Hyruleans, he receives some very interesting responses that hint toward a larger meaning behind the mask. If Link talks to Fado with the skull mask on, she says, "Whoa, are you some kind of forest ghost?" A translation of the original Japanese text says, "Obake in the forest?" Obake being a shape-shifting ghost from Japanese folklore. Another person reacts to the mask by saying, "I'm not afraid of any forest monsters." If Link talks to Saria with the skull mask on, she says, "Hey, that looks familiar. I think I saw something like that in the Lost Woods, no?" What do all these reactions have in common? They all seem to recognize the mask as representing a monster or ghost from the forest. Not some other place, but the forest specifically. Even more bizarre, and the whole reason for this video, is the reaction given by the Deku Scrubs at the forest stage upon seeing the skull mask. They say, "All of the young Deku Scrub brothers agree, you look exactly like our sacred forest totem. As an offering from us, please accept these Deku sticks." Yes, the skull mask looks like their sacred forest totem, an emblem of spiritual significance. We've seen this before with Goma, where Goma was treated as their queen, their master, their god. And whoever the skull mask is supposed to resemble is most certainly a god to these Deku Scrubs, being considered sacred. But who does the skull mask actually represent? Who is this Deku Scrub cult worshipping? I think you'll agree that there's only one person who can fit the bill to a T: Phantom Ganon. So, the Deku Scrubs worship Phantom Ganon, huh? What's the evidence to support that conclusion? Well, there are 5 really solid connections that seal the deal for me. 1. Phantom Ganon and the Skull Mask look very similar, both bearing, well, a skull, and not just any skull, a horned skull. Really, Phantom Ganon is the closest approximation to the Skull Mask that can be found in the forest. And at the end of the day, someone has to be the Deku Scrubs totem. 2. If we are to run with the Japanese translation of Fato's reaction, Phantom Ganon would certainly classify as a shape-shifting Obake. He first appears to Link as Ganondorf himself, before shape-shifting and revealing his skull face. 3. The Deku Scrubs refer to the mask as looking like their Sacred Forest totem. Sacred Forest. What else bears the name Sacred Forest in Ocarina of Time? The Sacred Forest Meadow, where Phantom Ganon happens to reside. 4. The Deku Scrubs have been known to guard those whom they serve, and to try to prevent anybody from reaching their gods. We saw this inside the Deku Tree with the 3 Deku Scrubs guarding the entrance to Goma's lair. Well, we see this exact same thing again in the Sacred Forest Meadow, with Deku Scrubs guarding the entrance to the Forest Temple where Phantom Ganon is. It would not be this heavily guarded if nothing of importance was inside. 5th and finally, Fato says the Skull Mask looks like a forest ghost. And besides the obvious name of Phantom Ganon, what is Phantom Ganon described as being? Navi tells Link, Phantom Ganon, it's an evil ghost of the Forest Temple. Yes, a ghost of the Forest Temple. A forest ghost. If you ask me, there's no better candidate for who the Skull Mask could represent, and subsequently who the Deku Scrubs would be serving as their god, than Phantom Ganon. The cult of Phantom Ganon is real, and the Deku Scrubs in Ocarina of Time are much darker than we realized. This is the Skull Mask Theory. Well, that's the theory. Hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know what you think of it. Also, let me know who you think their Sacred Forest Totem could actually be. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more, my Hylians.